Hello everyone and welcome back. So today, Nnamdi Kanu has filed a 550 million naira lawsuit against Nigerian Medical Association and the 10 medical doctors that conspired and issued a fake medical report against Nnamdi Kanu. So Barrister Maxwell Okpara disclosed this today while he was in FCT High Court in Abuja. And remember, in October 2025, Barrister Aloyejimako accused Nigerian Medical Association of fabricating a medical report on Nnamdi Kanu's head without conducting any examination as ordered by the court. He noted that the report presented in the court was dated October 13th, long before the court directive, leaving the defense no time to study or respond to it. He said that the court had ordered that Nnamdi Kanu be examined by Nigerian Medical Association, but that examination was never carried out, and the order was entered on September 26th and then reinstated on October 8th. So according to Barrister Aloyejimako, the Nigerian Medical Association never examined Nnamdi Kanu as required, but rather based its report on informal meeting held with him at the Department of State Service DSS headquarters in Abuja on September 18th. That order was never obeyed. They were never examining him. That the report was based on some informal meetings that held with Nnamdi Kanu as far back as September 18th at the DSS headquarters in Abuja, when they were invited to do that by DSS. And today, according to Barrister Maxwell Okpara, he said that disputed medical report played a direct role in the court decision to deny Nnamdi Kanu bail. According to him, he said the court ordered that they should examine Nnamdi Kanu, but they never did that. They went and wrote what they called a medical report, and it was that medical report that made the court refuse Nnamdi Kanu's bail. He said that they had earlier written to Nigerian Medical Association and the doctors seeking clarification and accountability, but received no response or indication of remorse. That's what prompted the initiation of the lawsuit. Honestly, it is very, very shameful that Nigerian Medical Association can go this low, allow themselves to be used by Nigeria government against Nnamdi Kanu. Very, very shameful. Honestly, when Donald Trump said that Nigeria is now a disgraced country, people will start arguing, look at what is happening. Like, look at what is happening in Nigeria. Every institution in Nigeria is corrupt. Even Nigerian Medical Association. Oh my God, this is really, really shameful. Let me allow you guys to watch this video from Barr Darlington and hear what he said concerning Nnamdi Kanu's matter, as well as Wike that are trending now, doing gra-gra. And now Nigerians are calling on Tinubu to sack Wike, as well as Donald Trump, military action in Nigeria. So all this will be discussed in this video. Do wait to watch the video to the end, and also share, like, leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and thank you so much for doing so. Take a listen.
In fact, Buratai gave a subtle threat to Nyesom Wike. He has apologized, sort of, in a very subtle manner, says he respects the military as an institution, but that his issue is not with the military as a whole, as a unit. His issue is with a private individual. That's a former chief of naval staff. What's your reaction to this?
Look, in one hand, I will blame Wike for what happened.
Okay.
Everybody has condemned. As a minister, you are not supposed to be like this. But Esther, Wike was appointed by a principal. Have you seen that principal utter a word or say something?
Since this incident happened?
Yes.
Is the president supposed to put mouth in everything?
Hold on. This is your minister embarrassing you. In fact,
Barry said, Kuba, it can be looked in two different fronts.
The
minister could be defending.
I'm coming. Wike, the way he reacted to that military officer,
naval
officer, it was a direct affront to Tinubu, who is the commander-in-chief. That naval officer is answerable to his oga and then to Tinubu as the commander-in-chief, not to Wike. That is a fact. Even Wike knows. It's not that Wike wanted to bulldoze his way, as always, but this guy stood up to him. That is the truth. Then, that the government have not said anything against Wike. Esther, it is strategic.
Strategic in what sense?
Yes.
Do you expect the government to speak against Wike that is working for the APC?
That is what I'm telling you now, because from what the condemnation you have received, you expected the government to say, look, because of what the people are saying. I remember when something like that happened in Labour Party.
No, the government and supporters of the party have been blaming the naval officer and the military.
That is what I'm telling you. Because of what Wike is doing for APC.
Is Wike doing it for APC or doing it for the country that he's serving?
Which country? When he told you that his allegiance is to Tinubu.
Yeah.
So the president will not say anything wrong in that, as long as Wike is good at rough fight. So he will leave him there. In fact, he will even commit another one before the weekend. That's whom he is, knowing fully well that Tinubu is supporting him. Esther, are you not worried with what happened in Rivers State and how the president was supporting Wike? Are you not worried? So that will tell you that the man is there for a strategic reason, and that is why he's acting like a loose cannon. In a normal claim, Wike ought to resign, but the president will not talk to him, or even, he will pretend he never heard what was going on, or, That's the truth. Because there is a greater mission that Wike is going to perform concerning 2027. But Esther, some people who claim to be holier than the Pope will say, because of this embarrassment, please, you can leave my government. I don't want any embarrassment. When the house he bought in US broke out, did you hear anything from the government? No. When the land he shared in Abuja broke out, did you hear anything from the government? No. But I know some candidate, presidential candidate in this country, who will not tolerate it because of what the people will say. You say you are Mr. Clean, and somebody beside you is stealing money, is grabbing land, and you didn't say anything. Esther, true of us. Is that not what plays out here? So Wike is acting because he has a supporter. That's just the truth. Ordinarily, when it comes to land matter, you don't take laws into your hand. It is the court that will decide who owns the land, not you. That is why when it comes to landlord and tenant issues, the police are not expected to come in. It always ends up in court. Yes. Ordinarily, you serve your tenant quit notice, he will be there. He will not even bother. He didn't even bother that, look, this man will call police tomorrow and they will throw me out. He will be there because he knows that the matter will go to court and it will not end in 1 month or 2 months. If you did not even answer the court, Esther, they will give you substituted service. I'm not joking. Who will have that patience? You see, the tenancy law is in favor of the tenants in Lagos State. They act with so much arrogance and impunity. That's why some landlords who don't have money for court or who don't have time for court, they will resort to self-help.
So what are you saying now?
What I'm saying now is that there are things you don't need to dabble into as a leader. Allow your people to handle it.
He said that why he came in there was that the naval officers were harassing his people.
Go to court. Esther, he came there as what? As a policeman or what? Esther, just look at that statement.
As an enforcer of the law.
I'm beginning to think that you are from Wike family. Enforcer of which law? You can see, he hasn't indicted himself by that statement. Which law he enforces? Who gave you the authority? You are not supposed to. All you need to report to the authorities that look at what is going on. You go to court.
But don't you think as a minister in his capacity, he can revoke whatever license he wants to revoke on any land if he considers that the land is obstructing the orientation or organization of the blueprint of the FCT? And if he feels that said land did not follow due process?
If the government revoke your land as a citizen, you go to court and challenge it. If you are not satisfied, yes, the government have the right to revoke. But you, the citizen, If you sleep on your right, it remains.
But Wike is representing the government.
But in this case, he's not revoking any land. You want to use force to go into that land. He didn't revoke any land. He didn't. He was just trying to muzzle his way against, rule of law. And that's it. But for us to scale through, because we would have gone out from here.
Okay.
Yeah, we would have gone out from. So now, what Wike did is an affront to the president, but he kept quiet. Esther, a Tinubu that would have reacted with the different, send police, send army, send the, but up till now, he has not said, rather, what I heard that they set up a probe or something like that.
There was a situation with Magodo, one of the estates in Magodo in Lagos.
Yeah.
And that video, resurfaced after this altercation he did not lose his standing as a governor of the state in that authority. He asked questions which he ought to have asked. In fact, the police officer was responding in respect, even if he says no, he could not leave. But he was, you could see the humility and the submission. And while the governor was speaking with him. So is it about orientation?
Of course.
Is it about no? There's some kind of etiquette that public office holders ought to learn.
Expected, yes.
So there's a huge difference. That's the governor of the state, and FCT minister too is like the governor of the FCT, sort of. So what happened? Is it that these guys don't go through leadership training, don't go through etiquette and mannerisms of the office they occupy?
In the case of Wike, he started with Agboro in Motor Park. That was where he started in Rivers State.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Nothing can change those kind of people. He started with Agboro in Motor Park, where he was writing ticket. Those people that write ticket, they eat with the force.
Oh,
so when you started your political career from a Motor Park, Esther, what do you expect?
Barr Darlington. Please, what evidence do you have to substantiate what
is that not where he started? He was chairman of a Motor Park or something before chairman of Obiakpo local government. Is that hidden? It's a fact now. So when you grow up from there, it's like making a minister now. Esther, we are finished. You don't recruit all these boys to be his aides. And those ones, when you speak too more grammar, they will break bottle.
Good.
Are you not the one that appointed him? So what were you expecting? No, what were you expecting? So those people are there for a purpose, Esther. Tinubu know what he's doing. He deliberately appointed him to do this kind of attack, whatever. He knows what he's doing. Can't you see it yourself? So when you appoint such a person, you know what you expect. So when he start acting, you just pretend as if you are not even around. Because you appointed him and he's doing what you asked him to do. That's the truth. All this one that ordinarily, like I told you, the normal process would have been for him to go to court and challenge the ownership of that land. Is that not true? Let the court decide. But he doesn't want to do that. It will be a waste of time for a Wike who want to bulldoze his way in any way.
Do you think he's going to be the downfall of Tinubu's administration?
No. Okay. Downfall, okay. If he did not bring downfall in Rivers State, which one will it does not. When everybody have run into APC, who else will challenge APC? Esther. No,
so you don't believe anybody can challenge them?
Nothing. Who?
So if that's the case, then there's no need for them to invest too much in convincing anyone ahead of 2027.
Is that not where we are going? Because those people who ran there, those people who supported this thing, I pray that we run into a one-party state. I'll be here to welcome them. Esther, seriously, that's me. You know, when some of us say things, they don't take it serious until it happens. All the people that are running into APC, they say it's master strategy, this and that. He's doing it now, fine. We'll celebrate and clap for him, yes. But how about the repercussion, the implication? What happened to it? Or is there any infamy that brings good result at the end? No, it doesn't end well. Anything that started with infractions will end up with infractions, Esther. That is it. This thing that APC is doing, everybody running into APC, they say they are paying them money, they are inducing them and all that. No problem. But when you leave office, and the person there now refuse to give shishi, because all of us don't have the same character. What happened? Or will you be controlling Nigeria when you retire? Esther, will you be controlling Nigeria like you are controlling Lagos when you retire or when you leave office? You know it's not going to be possible now. Maybe by that time you now realize that you are building castle in the air. Yes. If APC is not solid on ground with good leadership, with good due process, giving people the opportunity to contribute to the party, when you leave there, that party will collapse, Esther. It's as simple as that.
You don't think someone is already being groomed?
Like who?
We may not know who the person is.
Whoever they are grooming, Nigeria will not tolerate that person. Even APC people will not tolerate that person.
How are you sure?
Because listen very well. The leadership of APC have enough financial war chest now. When they leave, that financial war chest may not be there and they may not have access to it. What do you think now will happen? No, tell me what will happen. Is it not money they are using to control all these people? It's money now. So when that money is no longer flowing, who will listen to you?
But there are some core loyalists of Tinubu who will do anything for him.
When he leave office, they will live with him. Nobody will tolerate those things. Even the people of Lagos State, they are not even comfortable as it is. They are waiting for him to retire from office, or
Are you sure?
So that they will have a breathing space. Do you think this will continue forever? Esther, be sincere to yourself. Do you think it will continue? It will not. It will collapse.
All right, Barrister, let's take a very short break. All right, the evening rush continues. Esther, Nigeria still has to play the winner between Cameroon and DR Congo before going to play intercontinental champion elsewhere. Okay, so we have 2 more games to go. Hopefully, when we win that, I do hope we do, because honestly speaking, we need anything that will just bring back the faith and the hope on Nigeria. Trust me, like we literally need it. Barrister Darlington, so based on what transpired today, Nnamdi Kanu has resubmitted, already is asking the appeal court to stop judgment on his terrorism trial. He submitted the appeal against the November 20 judgment that, based on the fact that his trial had no significance to continue. So a couple of people think they think Nnamdi Kanu is deliberately delaying his case, the same case he complains that the FG has been delaying, that he's deliberately delaying it with all the tactics that he comes up with. Others feel that he ought not to have disbanded his legal team. Up to today, we've not heard really why those teams the legal team were disbanded or they were no longer representing him. Rather, what has been happening is he's consulting with them. So nobody knows precisely what happened. We heard that there were threats on the lawyers, which obviously could tarnish their careers. We had different narratives, but the way it is, Nnamdi Kanu seems to want to represent himself. Do you think he's deliberately stalling when some people think that they already know what the obvious conviction would be?
I think Nnamdi Kanu is not helping his case. Because this thing he's doing now, I don't know where it will end up. Initially, when this matter was in the cooler, all of us were saying, please, why not begin this trial? Try this man. He said he's ready for trial. That was the demand of everybody. Now the trial have started. I am now saying that it should no longer continue. That means you don't even know what you want. I have advised Nnamdi Kanu, cool down. If this matter was trashed out at a big court, the 15-count charges, it will equally be trashed out at the Federal High Court where the matter is today. The fact they are not going to invent any other charge.
But while he was leaving the court today, some of the Supreme Court workers, they left their offices, came out to hail him, and he acknowledged their cheers by raising his fist in the air. I don't know if you had seen that video earlier today. There was this support, praise. Everyone was hailing. Can you hear them?
So, when you're not in her office, so this is the thing. Hang it, they give a directive. 7 doesn't exist anymore. So that if you amend it, change it, doesn't exist. I still play to that same faulty law. Yes, it was an error. It's an error, big error. So I want them to correct that. That was one of the motions we
All right, so that was what happened today. So, in your assessment,
there's nobody without a supporter.
Okay.
Abi? Nobody. If politicians with all have done, they still have supporters, why wouldn't Nnamdi Kanu have a supporter? I mean, it's natural. For him to have come out to do most of the things he did, he should have supporters. Because people, at the end of the day, they know the person that is for them. Every human being in any setting, they know their leader. That is why the people choose their leader, especially in Igbo land. Nobody come out and say, I am this. No, it is the Igbo that choose their leader. What Nnamdi Kanu has suffered is enough to earn him some
followership.
Followership. It has never happened in Igbo land before. So anybody trying to suppress that will be wasting his time. There are people who are die-hard Nnamdi Kanu. Nothing you will tell them, they will listen to Nnamdi Kanu for before you. That's the truth. And these are part of the reasons why the federal government is afraid of releasing him. Because of his popularity. But let me advise them, Esther. This man, what's his name? Frederick Forsyth, who is now late. When he wrote a book, Emeka, at the last page of that book, he said, it will not be long before another Emeka or Dimoji Ojukwu will rise up. He said it. That means there are people with discerning mind who will know, yes, that this is what will happen. This is where this is. As long as this marginalization continues, Esther, there are 1,001 Nnamdi Kanu in the southeast. Don't deceive yourself. There is 1,001 Nnamdi Kanu. We don't even know. The people that will come after him will be more deadly than him. We don't even know. Esther, about 20 years ago, did you believe that Nnamdi Kanu is in the southeast? Did you hear anything from him? Did you believe that we have somebody like that in the southeast who is strong-hearted? He don't even bother that he's in court and all that. He's challenging everybody, talking tough. Did you believe? That is it. So the earlier the federal government work with Nnamdi Kanu, the better. He is the only person who can keep the restive youth quiet. That's the truth. If the federal government knows what they are doing, they should release Nnamdi Kanu and work with him to bring peace in the southeast. If anything should happen to Nnamdi Kanu, Esther, I wonder what will happen. It will be very difficult to control what will follow. Very difficult.
No, what do you mean what will follow? What do
you think those supporters will go and sleep or lie low?
What do you expect? I think that we should be careful of some statements that we make.
No, but is it not obvious? He has supporters.
Yes, he has supporters. Doesn't necessarily mean that it will devolve to whatever it is.
I said, do you know where whatever they will start? Do you know how it will end? You only know the beginning of any fight. You don't know where that fight will end.
Well, Barrister, you notice that in the whole of this, it is people of the Southeast that suffer the most when whatever it is that happens.
Did I tell you that sit at home was imposed on them, or they choose to do that in difference to Nnamdi Kanu's ordeal? Which one be suffering? Someone that is down need no follow? These people that they are killing in Imo State, was it Nnamdi Kanu that is killing them? The one Amnesty International said that over 1,800 and something human beings have been slaughtered in Imo State in 2 years. Was it Nnamdi Kanu that slaughtered them? Human rights violation. Was it Nnamdi Kanu? So these are the outcome of Nnamdi Kanu's incarceration. The federal government know what they are doing. When Asali Dogbo came out and said he had a contract to be cleaning in the Igbo water. Was it Nnamdi Kanu that said it? No, let us, this propaganda have made people not to look at issues passionately. For somebody to come out and say that he has a contract to be killing Igbos. Contract to be killing them. And the federal government never disowned him or said something. So
a contract with the Nigerian military.
So who is the Nigerian military?
The Nigerian military distance themselves from that narrative, but he keeps on saying it.
And we can see the evidence. Esther, evidence is there. Denial is not enough. Evidence is there. When he went to Aso Rock and they gave him the platform to make a press release, what does that tell you? The same person. So all these things that people are shying away from, I am saying, look, in Rwanda, it was when the plane of the Hutu man was shot down, their president, Haba Maria or something like that, their president, when the plane was shot down, that was when hell was let loose in Rwanda. Is that not true? So there are people that are figure in their environment. You don't treat such people with this kind of, and you expect that everything will be okay. There are people know that, look, you have done wrong by killing this man or by doing something unto us. They will not take it lightly. I told you here that the First World War was fought because a woman was killed. They claim she's not a blue blood. So what are you telling me? There are things you don't dabble into. All these things that they are doing to Nnamdi Kanu, personally, I feel it's persecution, not prosecution. Seriously. Because people who have done worse things are roaming about, dining and whining with the government. Yet, and so you think that by treating him this way, you are helping the matter. You are not helping the matter. You are making it worse. That's the truth. Everybody have come to know now that Nnamdi Kanu is being persecuted, not prosecuted. How come a whole Supreme Court, a matter came before you? Instead of you to take a decision, you said they should go back and start from the lower court. What kind of thing is that? He even advised Nnamdi Kanu to balance it, that he should go and sue the federal government. He should go and take up a civil suit against the federal government, as if anything will come out of there. The money the court said they should pay Nnamdi Kanu, have anybody paid? Have anybody paid? Nobody. So what are you telling me? These are part of the reason why people are suspecting that, look, this is no longer a joke. There is something the federal government are looking for. This is no longer prosecution.
Showore has already actually said quite a lot in regards to that. He has already mentioned what the whole situation is. So let's see how the case is still in court. Let's see how it goes. He looked quite confident, promising, healthy, and well, he still exudes the aura that he exudes. The FG has suspended the implementation of the proposed 15% import tax on petrol and diesel. This was an announcement that was made today, all right? And they advised members of the public against hoarding, panic buying, or other non-market-driven escalation of petroleum prices. Now, a couple of persons feel this is good news, but they feel that once it is January 2026, they'll go back to it. And by then, there's nothing anybody can do. Or do you think that's the case?
Look, Esther, in the first place, there shouldn't be any importation because the fuel subsidy removal and the PIA have taken care of this thing. If you have a local content, why are you bringing it from abroad? Dangote have told you he has the capacity to supply Africa, not just Nigeria. The biggest refinery in the whole world, biggest. 1.4 million barrels a day. No other refinery, none. And so, why are you importing, Esther? We don't even know the quality of the fuel you are importing. And you are not saying you need 15% or whatever to discourage importation. Esther, can you just imagine? Instead of you to stop the process that will lead to importation, you now say when they import, you now pay 15%. Who will bear the brunt? Then at the end of the day, you now go and collect subsidy from the back door, like they paid in last October. Remember, this NNPC said that they are going to collect 7.7 trillion from federal government for what did they call it now? Under what? Under something. Yeah, they said it that we should pay them. Is that not because they imported the fuel?
All right, Barrister Darlington, finally, because we need to open the phone lines. We have a lot of calls already coming in. In a very recent interview in one of the Monitor television program, U.S. Congressman disclosed that Trump may not go ahead with the military invasion, as was being said earlier. But what he will literally do is that his priority is that he's getting frustrated with the ongoing genocide and the nonchalancy and lack of empathy from the government in handling it. So what they would do is to impose sanctions and limitations on the persons they know who are responsible, and that they have the names and list of the persons responsible. So he says the comment were more about expressing frustration with ongoing violence than indicating a real plan for military intervention. Now, last week we heard the US Parliament, where Trump designated a certain group of persons to create a plan on how they would go about whatever invasion tactic they wanted to go for. They said high, medium, and normal, but they felt that they needed a higher method of handling this, because they felt like if they do it in a medium format, that the genocide will continue, that these guys have really infested the country. But he said that what happens is that despite him expressing his frustration over the violence, right, what he would do is to impose sanctions on those individuals and apply pressure on them rather than launching an invasion. So he says that yes, the president came out forcefully. That's President Donald Trump of the US. But that it's not a high priority of having actual military intervention specifically in Nigeria. But what he thinks is that he wants to make sure that from his view, the genocide that is happening specifically against Christians, but also others in Nigeria, needs to stop while they don't envision any surprise attack on Nigeria through their military forces, but that there's going to be a huge military response in targeting these individuals. And they're going to start with the elites who they consider to be on the red lists. So they will start by sanctioning. So anytime we hear some certain persons' visas were revoked or whatever in politics from the US, do we suspect that they're the ones sponsoring insecurity?
Of course. Now, these are part of the plan. But Esther, do not be misled by what this man said. Donald Trump can invade Nigeria and take out the terrorists if the killings continue. Quote me. This thing that you had now, it may even bolster these terrorists to continue with what they are doing, and that will anger America the more. That will anger Donald Trump the more. If this killing does not stop, Esther, Donald Trump will invade Nigeria and then take out without considering the consequences.
Well,
after all, who are
Donald Trump cannot invade Nigeria.
Listen very well. Listen. Esther, targeted invasion may be applied.
You know that we can't do any of this without some certain approval.
Look, who will come against them? Because they are coming here on a humanitarian ground. They are coming here on a mission, humanitarian mission. So what is wrong with it? That is the question here. Are you coming on a humanitarian ground, or are you coming to grab a land or whatever? If they are coming on a humanitarian, the whole world will rally around America. I'm not joking. Yes, if they are coming on a, because the ripple effect is what you should even consider. If these other people who are oppressing and suppressing some groups in their countries for whatever reason, if they see what has happened in Nigeria by Donald Trump, it will make them to behave themselves now. Abi? Yes, it will make them to behave themselves, knowing that if it happened here, it can happen any other place. So that is why I will even like this thing to be tested with Nigeria, so that this guy will know that, look, there is a higher force, because already they have taken over Nigeria from all indication. Our sovereignty has been taken over by Todd Jubelo and his group that will no longer control them. All manner of people are talking tough and all that. People like Shegumi and his followers, they just talk and behave arrogant statement that can cause problem. One will wake up and say somebody's wife should be killed because she's an infidel. All those things. By the time this thing happen, don't you think everybody will behave themselves? All this entitlement mentality will stop. Esther, it will stop. That is the truth. You cannot be just there waiting for free money and all that while others are working. All of a sudden, the only thing you contribute is to kidnap people and collect ransom. And you think it's going to stop all of a sudden if there is no force against it? Seriously. So whether we like it or not, Donald Trump from his antecedent, he doesn't go back on his way. So that's the truth. So the government should not relax. Instead, they should start now by dislodging those people in Plateau and Benue State, Benue villages.
All right, the number
so
to call is 080.